Hello children, hope you all are doing very well. In the previous class we had discussed about Salvatore, and then I had sent you a copy of the text of the spider and the fly and a recitation to listen to and read. I really hope that you enjoyed the poem. It is a beautiful poem. Earlier it was meant for children, but now as adults also we will have various kinds of interpretations for this particular poem. As you listen to this explanation, I would like you to keep a copy of the text with you so that you can refer to it and you can note down whatever is relevant and note down your points so that you can have a better understanding and a better appreciation of this particular poem in your syllabus. The Spider and the Fly has been composed by Mary Botham Howard. This particular poem is, it can be called a fable in verse. That is a fable that is written in the form of poetry. Now, I hope you know what a fable is. I believe some of you might have read Panchatantra tales. They are fables. You know, fables are short moral stories, especially meant for children, where the main characters are usually animals and they behave like human beings in the particular stories. Okay, so these stories are basically written for children so that they get aware of the world and they get aware of the dangers of the world, and they realize that there can be all kinds of situations and all people cannot be trusted. So this is one such poem that has been written in order that you may take the message that flattery can be fatal. Okay? Many people in the world may use words of flattery in order to impress you, and then that may cost a huge amount for you to pay. That is the basic idea or the message that the poet wants to convey through the story. As I said, this is a fable in verse, and as in fable, here there are two insects who play the two characters. One is the spider and the other is the fly. Now you know what spiders do, right? They feed upon insects, and fly is one such insect that the spider feeds upon. So the spider has been used to represent a certain kind of people in the society. These are the people who are cunning, who tempt and who use good words in order to impress the innocent people, and then they prey upon them. They use them to their own advantage. Okay? The fly is the second kind of character that are present in the world. The fly is used to represent the innocent people of the world, the innocent and the gullible. Gullible people are the people who easily believe others. Okay, they take whatever has been said by others as the truth. So the fly happens to be a representative of the innocent and gullible people of the society, who is very much in danger from certain people like the spider. This poem is a didactic poem. Didactic poem is a poem that gives a moral lesson or a teaching for people to follow. Now, as you can see, the spider begins by tempting the fly right from the starting of the poem, and he invites the fly into his parlor. You know, your school also has a parlor. Parlor is somewhat like a living room, a place where the guests come and sit and you speak with them. That is a parlor. Now here, the parlor acts as a metaphor for the spider web. Okay? Now the spider web is dangerous for flies. You know that the spider web is a little sticky. So when the flies come very nearby, or if they get entangled in the spider web, they stick onto it and it's very difficult for them to move out of it, and the spider can easily eat its prey. However, the spider makes the spider web into a parlor, as if it's a beautiful and attractive place for the fly to come in and sit with him and have some conversation. So the spider begins by telling the fly, "Will you walk into my parlor? Because it is the prettiest little parlor that ever you did spy." So it's one of the prettiest parlors that you've ever seen. And when you come into my parlor, there are many pretty things in the parlor that I want to show you. Like things that are kept in the parlor for showpieces or something. I want to show you those particular things. And the way into my parlor is up a winding stair. A winding stair is reference to the very thin lines of the cobweb. You know, it's like one line after the other. So it's like climbing the stair and then entering the parlor. But the fly is very determined. And she says, "Oh no, to ask me is in vain. It's useless. Do not ask me to walk into your parlor. For who goes up your winding stair can never come down again." Now she has heard that whoever goes up into the spider web, whichever fly or insect goes up into the spider web, they can never get out of it. So she is very determined and decided that she will not enter the spider web at any cost. The spider, however, does not give up. Okay, he tries again, and he tries to be sympathetic to the fly and says, "I'm sure you must be weary, dear, with soaring up so high. So I'm sure you're very tired because you've been flying all day long. So you must be really tired." And then he invites her again into the spider web as he says that, "Why don't you come into my web and rest upon my bed?" And he paints a beautiful picture of his bedroom. He says there are pretty curtains and the sheets are fine and thin. The bed sheets are fine and they are smooth and thin. And if you like to rest a while, I'll snugly tuck you in. Snugly is comfortably. Tucking is to tuck in the bed sheets so that it won't open while she's sleeping at night. Now the snugly tuck you in has a very dangerous connotation here also, because the actual meaning of snugly tuck you in is I will not snugly tuck you in my bed, but I will snugly tuck you in my stomach. So he has every intention of making the fly his prey, his food, his dinner. The fly says, she's still determined. "Oh no, said the little fly, "for I've often heard it said, they never wake again who sleep upon your bed." The repetition of no, and never. These show that the fly is really determined not to enter into the spider web. And then she says, "I've often heard it said." She has heard from the adults and the other experienced members of the society that it is very dangerous to enter into the spider web. Alright? It's like the normal human world when we grow up and our parents and our acquaintances who are elder to us and are more experienced, they tell us again and again that they warn us that there are certain things that we must not do because it will be bad for us. So similarly, the fly has been warned by other flies, most likely the adult members of the society, of her society, that if you enter into the spider web, you will never come out. So be very, very careful. Therefore, she decides not to enter because she says they never wake again to sleep upon your bed. Said the cunning spider to the fly, "Dear friend, what can I do to prove the warm affection I've always felt for you?" So now the spider has not given up yet. He says to the fly, he calls her a friend. Okay, you're my friend, and if you call someone a friend, you will not want to do something bad to that person. So the spider calls the fly a friend and says, "How can I prove how much I care for you, the warm affection that I have for you?" Then, in order to prove the affection, he invites her into the pantry. Pantry is the room in which food is stored. So he says, "I have within my pantry, so come into my web, I have a wonderful pantry, and there are lots of delicious foods kept in the pantry." He says, "Good store of all that's nice. I'm sure you're very welcome. Will you please to take a slice? That is, why don't you step inside my pantry and take a slice of the food that is kept there?" But the fly is still determined. She says, "Oh no, no, kind sir, that cannot be. I have heard what is in your pantry and I do not wish to see." So she's heard from people that the spider feeds upon dead insects and flies. So quite clearly, the pantry, his pantry must be consisting of food that consists of dead flies and insects. So she is horrified. She does not want to enter into the pantry in order to see the dead flies and insects, and obviously she will not be able to eat them. Now here, after this, there is a change of technique. So far, the spider was using his using metaphors like the parlor, the bedroom, and the pantry to make his spider web look attractive, so that the fly may enter into the web. Now clearly the spider realizes that this trick is not working. The external attractiveness may not be working for the fly. She may not wish to go inside after all. So now after this, the spider will start using flattery. He will start trying to impress the fly, praising her looks, her beauty, and everything about her, so that she can easily get tempted. And this part of the poem we'll take up in the next part.